Today, I'm diving deep into the signs of dealing with an evil person, and I'm going to challenge myself to spot them in my own life. Don't be deceived. 5 Stoic insights to spot a manipulative person. None of us are perfect. We all have moments where we stumble, where we don't quite live up to the ideals we set for ourselves. But there's a crucial distinction between someone who has flaws, who makes mistakes, but genuinely tries to do better, and someone who is consistently, intentionally harmful. It's an unfortunate reality that some people seem to exist solely to cause negativity and distress to those around them. These individuals will repeatedly hurt you and anyone else they can, often without remorse. Sometimes this behavior stems from their own past traumas, unresolved pain, or perhaps even personality disorders. Regardless of the underlying cause, these are people you absolutely must learn to identify and avoid. However, if you know what to look for, there are 5 distinct warning signs viewed through the powerful lens of Stoic philosophy that can alert you to the presence of someone who offers no benefit to your life, someone who may actively seek to diminish it. Stoicism isn't about building walls, about isolating yourself from others. It's about cultivating a deeper understanding of the world, of human nature, both your own and that of others. It's about building a more harmonious, meaningful life, grounded in wisdom and resilience. Through this detailed exploration, let's embark on a journey to uncover these 5 signs, illuminated by Stoic principles, so that none of us have to navigate life's complexities in the dark, without the guiding light of truth and knowledge. Number 1. The insatiable need to control human beings often crave power and control. It seems to be an intrinsic part of our nature. The desire to dominate, to be in charge, to orchestrate events. However, Stoic philosophy offers a radically different perspective. True control, the kind that brings lasting peace and fulfillment, doesn't lie in imposing your will on other people. It lies in mastering yourself, your emotions, your reactions, your judgments. Control, at its deepest and most authentic level, is not an outward display of power, but an inward expression of strength and self-discipline. Stoic philosophy emphasizes this inner strength through the profound understanding and acceptance that the only thing we truly control is ourselves. How we choose to perceive events, how we choose to react to the actions of others and the circumstances of life. Everything else, the behavior of other people, the unpredictable nature of events, the whims of fate, lies entirely beyond our sphere of direct control. In relationships, this craving for control often masquerades as care, as love, as concern. Someone might genuinely believe they're acting in another person's best interest when they attempt to guide, to protect, to manage their life. However, this is a fundamental misunderstanding of genuine love and care. Stoic philosophy asserts that each individual is and must be the master of their own destiny. Controlling behavior can manifest in countless ways: unjustified jealousy, unreasonable demands, restrictions on personal freedom, constant criticism, disguised as helpful advice. These behaviors don't just reveal the insecurity and fear of the controller, they also expose a deep-seated selfishness, a lack of understanding of the true meaning of love, respect, and freedom. Moreover, control, in any form, breeds only resentment and suffering. It constructs an invisible barrier between individuals, eroding trust, intimacy, and genuine connection. The damage isn't limited to emotional distress. It also profoundly impacts self-esteem and personal growth, hindering both the controller and the controlled. To counteract this destructive tendency, Stoic philosophy advises us to cultivate understanding and acceptance. Accept that every person has an inherent right to freedom, to self-determination. Simultaneously, focus your energy on mastering your own emotions and actions, striving for a life of greater freedom, meaning, and inner peace. Consider the example of Alex and Sarah. Their relationship started with a foundation of deep affection and mutual trust. However, over time, Alex began to experience an unspoken fear of losing Sarah. In his misguided attempts to protect her from perceived threats and dangers, Alex gradually became controlling. He started objecting to some of Sarah's friends, claiming they were a negative influence. He also expressed disapproval of her clothing choices, suggesting he only wanted her to be respected. Tragically, these actions weren't rooted in genuine love or concern. They were driven by fear and a desperate need to control. Sarah initially tried to be understanding, even adapting her behavior to appease Alex, but the control and suspicion only intensified. She began to feel suffocated, as if she were slowly losing her sense of self, her personal space, her freedom. This inevitably led to heated arguments, with Sarah feeling trapped and violated, and Alex spiraling into despair, clinging even tighter to what he feared losing most. Over time, the relationship became strained, filled with tension and pressure. Alex's controlling behavior wasn't just a manifestation of his personal insecurities. It became the primary source of suffering, not only for Sarah, but also for himself. Feeling she was no longer the master of her own life, Sarah eventually realized she needed to reclaim her freedom and self-respect. A relationship that once held the promise of love and happiness had become a painful lesson in the vital importance of trust, respect, and personal autonomy in any healthy connection. As Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, powerfully stated, "Can you no longer see a road to freedom? It's right in front of you. You need only turn over your wrists." This seemingly drastic statement emphasizes that we always have a choice in how we respond to life's challenges, even those imposed by others. Are you attempting to control what is inherently uncontrollable? Are you respecting your own freedom and the freedom of those around you? Stoic philosophy isn't just a set of guidelines for living. It's a constant reminder of our inner strength, our capacity to face adversity, and our ability to overcome challenges with wisdom and resilience. Number 2. The alluring mask of charm. Imagine navigating the intricate maze of human relationships and encounters, and suddenly stumbling upon a seemingly magical place. It's a place where a first glance, a captivating smile, an unexpectedly charming personality instantly sets your heart aflutter. This isn't mere superficial attraction, it's a deeply ingrained instinct within us, a natural yearning to connect, to be accepted, to be loved. Yet under the discerning gaze of Stoic philosophy, a different picture begins to emerge. A picture where autonomy, wisdom, and careful observation are the keys to unlocking the truth that often lies hidden beneath a glittering, alluring facade. We begin to see the true nature, sometimes fraught with hidden agendas, of those who initially seem to enchant us. The mask of charm is not simply an outward appearance, It's often a deliberate tactic used by others to attract, to influence, and even to control. These individuals might present themselves as exceptionally caring, attentive, and always eager to help. However, behind these seemingly altruistic acts, there sometimes lurk selfish motives, even outright malice. Stoic philosophy teaches us the paramount importance of careful observation and critical analysis, not just of the external world, but also of our own internal reactions. When confronted with someone who exudes charm, Stoicism encourages us to question the true motivation behind their behavior. Do they genuinely care about your well-being, or is their charm merely a tool, a means to an end, a part of a larger scheme to achieve their own personal objectives? There's a fundamental difference between genuine kindness and charm used as a manipulative weapon. The difference lies in the intention and the consequences of the action. A truly kind and caring person doesn't seek to exploit their kindness for personal gain. Conversely, someone using charm as a tool often prioritizes their own self-interest above all else. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of trusting your instincts and recognizing subtle warning signs. Sometimes during interactions, the mask of charm will momentarily slip, revealing glimpses of the individual's true intentions. This requires us to remain vigilant, to not be easily swayed by empty promises or superficial displays of affection. Consider the case of Michael, a successful businessman known for his attractive appearance and seemingly polite demeanor. With a warm smile and carefully chosen words, he never hesitated to share his experiences or offer assistance to his colleagues. However, a hidden secret concealed beneath this perfect facade gradually began to surface. As time passed, some co-workers started to notice a recurring pattern in Michael's behavior. His assistance often came with unspoken expectations. He might help a colleague complete a challenging project, only to later subtly hint that they owed him a favor. He might volunteer to lead a new initiative, only to then use the group's success as a stepping stone for his own career advancement. These weren't spontaneous acts of kindness. They were carefully calculated steps in building a network of subtle obligations, a web of indebtedness through which Michael could gradually climb the corporate ladder. This realization began to make those around him feel uneasy, recognizing that his charming exterior might be nothing more than a mask, concealing his true purpose, not to help, but to control and profit from his social connections. Charm, whether genuine or deceptive, is an undeniable part of human interaction. However, through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we learn the value of awareness, discernment, and autonomy. This not only helps us protect ourselves from negative influences, but also encourages personal growth and a deeper understanding of the complexities of human nature. Your perspective is invaluable. Have you ever encountered someone who used their charm to achieve personal goals? How can we cultivate the ability to distinguish between sincere charm and manipulative charm, especially in today's often superficial world? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Number 3. The void of empathy. In life, we inevitably encounter individuals who seem to carry a darkness within them. Individuals whose behavior and thoughts seem utterly foreign to the concepts of kindness, compassion, and empathy. Recognizing and safeguarding ourselves from the negative impact of these individuals is not just an art, It's a necessary form of self-preservation. But how can we accurately identify these signs? How can we learn to perceive and confront this reality with calmness, wisdom, and resilience? Let's explore a crucial sign that you're dealing with a manipulative or evil person and find guidance rooted in Stoic principles to avoid being deceived. Consider a workplace scenario. A cold and unsympathetic CEO consistently fails to demonstrate empathy towards an employee facing significant personal challenges. The employee has informed the CEO that they are caring for a seriously ill family member, yet the CEO still demands excessive overtime and denies any requests for leave, citing that work always comes first. This action doesn't just demonstrate a profound lack of empathy and understanding. It reflects a blatant disregard for the value of human beings and the importance of human relationships. Instead of prioritizing the employee's well-being and health, the CEO focuses solely on the short-term demands of the job, overlooking the employee's basic needs and humanity. This not only severely impacts the employee's morale, but also leads to a breakdown of trust and a corrosive atmosphere within the entire workplace. Indeed, maintaining a balance between reason and emotion, between professional obligations and human compassion, becomes more critical than ever. Stoic philosophy provides us with invaluable tools to confront these challenges effectively and meaningfully. One of the most significant challenges we often face in our social relationships and professional lives is dealing with individuals who lack empathy. This not only tests our patience and resilience, but also forces us to question how we react, how we maintain our own moral values, and how we uphold our integrity in difficult situations. The manifestations of a lack of compassion are often easily identifiable through actions and words, but the real impact is far deeper and more long-lasting. It not only causes pain and stress to those directly affected, but also creates a toxic environment where trust and cooperation are diminished, leading to decreased productivity, creativity, and overall well-being. This demonstrates that while we might try to ignore or minimize the impact of a lack of empathy, its effects persist insidiously and destructively. In any situation, the most important thing we can control is our own reaction. When faced with a lack of empathy, strive to assess the situation objectively, avoiding getting caught up in negative emotions. Practice empathy and understanding, not just towards others, but also towards yourself. Recognize that each of us is fighting our own internal battles, and that compassion is the key to overcoming division, suffering, and misunderstanding. Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, wisely stated, "It is not what you endure that matters, but how you endure it." This profound statement emphasizes that in every situation, even when faced with adversity or the lack of compassion from others, we have the power and the ability to choose how we react. This choice not only helps us overcome difficulties, but also allows us to become a source of inspiration and strength for those around us. In life, we cannot avoid encountering people who lack compassion. However, by applying the principles of Stoicism, we can learn to perceive and deal with these situations consciously, patiently, and compassionately. This not only helps us protect and nurture our own moral integrity, but also contributes to creating a better world, a world where compassion and mutual understanding are valued and fostered. So, when dealing with people who lack empathy, ask yourself, How can we actively practice compassion, not only towards others, but also towards ourselves? In what circumstances do we find it most challenging to maintain compassion, and what strategies can help us overcome these challenges? Number 4. The tangled web of lies. Has your heart ever tightened, your intuition sounding an alarm in response to the behavior of someone harboring harmful intentions? These individuals often wield lies as a powerful, insidious tool to achieve their goals. They show little to no regard for the harm they inflict upon others. Their lies become sharp weapons, a means to conceal the truth, to manipulate, and to control. Pathological lying is characterized by an uncontrollable, often unnecessary, repetition of falsehoods, typically serving some hidden agenda, gaining power, exerting control, or evading responsibility. Signs of this behavior include constantly shifting narratives, inconsistencies in storytelling, exaggerated reactions when challenged on the truth, and a general lack of accountability. In the workplace, the impact of lying can be devastating. It not only undermines a positive and productive work environment, fostering toxicity and distrust, but it also erodes trust among colleagues, severely impacting productivity, teamwork, and morale. In dealing with pathological liars, Stoic philosophy proposes a calm, reasoned, and detached approach. It advises us not to allow our personal emotions to cloud our awareness and our response to their lies. Stoicism encourages us to maintain our inner autonomy, to not allow the falsehoods of others to sway our mood, our decisions, or our sense of self. An exemplary example of dealing with a liar in the workplace is the story of Emily, a dedicated accountant. Emily began noticing discrepancies in the reports submitted by her colleague, David. David presented himself as a strong candidate for a new managerial position, freely boasting about non-existent accomplishments in his project reports. In every meeting, David embellished his achievements, portraying himself as an outstanding employee, far exceeding expectations. Emily, despite feeling shocked and disappointed by David's dishonesty, decided not to let her emotions take control. She began quietly taking notes, meticulously gathering evidence of the discrepancies in David's reports, as well as the inaccurate project descriptions she was aware of. She knew she needed concrete proof before taking any action. Once she had accumulated sufficient evidence, Emily scheduled a private meeting with her manager. She presented everything objectively, calmly, and without revealing her personal feelings of hurt or anger. She focused solely on the facts, the discrepancies, and the potential impact on the company. After reviewing the information Emily provided, the manager decided to conduct a thorough investigation into all project reports and to reassess the employee performance evaluation process. Through this, not only David but the entire company learned a valuable lesson about the paramount importance of honesty, transparency, and integrity in the workplace. Thanks to Emily's intelligent, wise, and stoic approach, a potentially damaging situation was averted. In the journey against the tangled web of lies, we have witnessed the power of Stoic philosophy and explored practical, wise approaches to dealing with manipulative individuals. Despite facing daunting challenges, let's not forget that we always have the inner strength to stand firm, to remain grounded in our values, and to overcome any obstacle. As Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wisely stated, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." Let courage, wisdom, and integrity guide us on the path to success, peace, and a fulfilling life. Let us contribute together to building a better world, a world where honesty, respect, and ethical behavior are highly valued. Number 5, the mastery of manipulation. In the complex tapestry of human interactions, the art of manipulation often lurks in the shadows, disguised beneath outward appearances of perfection and allure. However, according to Stoic philosophy, the soul must always be prepared to face the harsh realities of life. Evil or harmful intent can take many forms, and deception knows no bounds. Manipulation stems from a deep-seated desire for control, an insatiable thirst for power that leads individuals to devise intricate schemes and relentless deceit. Those who seek to dominate others often employ manipulative tactics, treating people like puppets, controlling them to serve their own selfish will. To avoid falling victim to deception, one must cultivate intuition and sharpen the mind. There are subtle signs to be attentive to, quiet whispers of concern that arise deep within the soul. Manipulators might use excessive flattery to win over their targets, or they might cloak their true intentions beneath a facade of feigned empathy or concern. Beneath the surface, however, lies a cold, calculated agenda, a psychological game of exploitation and betrayal. The consequences of falling into the trap of manipulation can be devastating, leaving deep emotional scars. Once the web of deceit crumbles, victims may feel ensnared, trapped in a tangled mess of lies, losing their sense of autonomy, self-worth, and trust. The psychological impact of manipulation can shatter relationships and destroy lives. In the face of deception, Stoic philosophy serves as a powerful source of strength, resilience, and wisdom. By focusing on self-awareness, practicing mindfulness, and cultivating inner fortitude, one can fortify their spirit against the allure of manipulation. Stoic philosophers advise us to seek virtue and courage within, for it is only through facing adversity that true resilience is forged. In the journey of confronting deception, pause and reflect on the vulnerabilities and hidden fears within yourself that manipulators might seek to exploit. How do we develop discernment, patience, and wisdom in the face of deceit? How can we strengthen our inner defenses against manipulation? In a world often shrouded in deceit, ethics serve as a guiding light, leading us towards self-mastery and profound understanding. By embracing the teachings of Stoic philosophy, we can navigate the turbulent waters of deception with rationality, courage, and unwavering integrity. Remember the words of the classical philosopher Epictetus, who reminded us, "It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them." Faced with deceit and manipulation, choose wisely. Nurture the virtues that lead to true freedom, inner peace, and a life of meaning. We often encounter unpredictable challenges and people who do not bring us benefit. However, in Stoic philosophy, recognizing the signs of a manipulative or bad person is an essential part of self-protection and personal growth. Next, we will open a door to the soul, inviting us to delve deeper into ourselves, to discover the truth about harmful intentions through the lens of Stoic philosophy. We will not only focus on recognizing the external signs of evil, but also explore the deeper aspects of our own nature. Questions like, who are we truly? And what is the nature of human behavior? Will guide us through this exploration. we will not only examine the peripheral signs of harmful intent, but also penetrate deep into the soul, to better understand ourselves and thereby build a more authentic and meaningful life. Discovering your true nature, an unexpected revealing sign. In our daily lives, we navigate a diverse world, a world where people from different backgrounds, cultures, and experiences share common spaces. On this journey, we encounter a wide spectrum of individuals, from those who are genuinely kind, trustworthy, and supportive, to those who can have a profoundly negative impact on our lives. In this context, it is extremely important to develop the ability to recognize and protect ourselves from people with harmful intentions. Stoicism, one of the classical philosophical systems, not only helps us understand how to face life's challenges, but also provides us with invaluable tools to recognize the signs of evil or manipulative behavior and to apply these insights to our everyday lives. By delving deeper into this philosophy, we can uncover the essence of our true nature, revealed through an unexpected lens, the 5 signs of a manipulative or bad person. Fakeness in communication. Individuals with harmful intentions often tend to be overly friendly and artificially caring. They use excessive sweetness in their words and actions as a tool to mask their true motives. Stoicism teaches us the importance of sincerity, authenticity, and transparency. When interacting with someone, observe whether their actions genuinely reflect their words. Habit of blaming others. A prominent characteristic of manipulative individuals is their reluctance to accept responsibility for their own actions. Instead, they tend to blame others, external circumstances, or anything but themselves. Stoicism emphasizes taking responsibility for what we can control and accepting what we cannot, but always owning our choices and their consequences. Lack of empathy. A clear sign of a manipulative person is the lack of ability to genuinely empathize with others. They often don't truly care about the emotions, needs, or well-being of others, focusing instead solely on their own self-interest. Stoicism teaches us the importance of community, connection, and empathy, considering it the foundation of all healthy relationships. Abuse of power. Individuals with harmful intentions often seek to control and exert power over others. They may abuse their position, authority, or influence to manipulate, control, or even harm others. Stoicism encourages the wise and ethical use of power for the common good, not for oppression or personal gain. Excessive self-love. Excessive self-admiration, narcissism, can make a person selfish and indifferent to the interests or emotions of others. They often see their own gain as the absolute top priority and don't hesitate to disregard the needs or feelings of others to achieve their goals. Stoicism teaches us humility, placing the well-being of the community above personal ambition. Recognizing and understanding these signs not only helps us protect ourselves from negative influences, but also assists us in developing healthy, lasting, and meaningful relationships. Stoicism emphasizes self-control, acceptance, and most importantly, living a life guided by virtue and ethical principles. By applying these lessons to our daily lives, we not only avoid manipulative people, but also move towards a happier, more fulfilling, and more meaningful existence. Life is always filled with challenges, And on this journey, recognizing and staying away from individuals with harmful intentions is an essential skill that Stoic philosophy has taught us. Hopefully, through this detailed exploration, you have become more aware of the warning signs to avoid manipulative people and have gained strength to navigate life's complexities. Remember, it's not just about recognizing these signs. It's also about taking action, about making conscious choices to protect yourself and to cultivate healthy relationships. I have a question for you. Have you ever encountered these signs in your own life? What steps have you taken to protect yourself from these dangers? If you found this information helpful and meaningful, don't hesitate to like and share it to spread the message to others. To continue receiving such useful content, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications so you don't miss any new insights. Thank you for taking the time to join us and share your thoughts on Stoic philosophy. Remember that in a world full of challenges, true power lies in controlling our reactions, in choosing the path of ethics, and in cultivating inner strength and peace. Keep watching, keep learning, and keep striving to live by Stoic principles, aiming for strength, wisdom, and tranquility within the soul. Goodbye, and see you in the next exploration.